Good morning, everyone. So glad to see you here with us. We're going to start with our opening song, God is Good. If you saw the PowerPoint slide there on the Facebook page, you should be able to see our first song if you don't know the lyrics.
Good morning, and welcome to Harmony Spiritual Center's Facebook Live. Welcome to everyone. Oh, gosh. I am going to be doing a welcoming prayer. Now, March 22nd, the Daily Word. Today I hear with renewed understanding James Dillett Freeman's prayer for protection. In a growing awareness of oneness, I realize that the power of God works through me, as me. I embody divine power by choosing words that affirm the truth that I am a spiritual being, and that as I navigate the valleys and peaks of the human's experience. By expressing my power, I am claiming dominion over my words and my thoughts. I affirm statements of truth while releasing negative thoughts and ideas. I think, speak, and claim life with authority. I let life be easy, moving from the old to the new with ease, grace, joy, and love and peace. Now, 2 Timothy 1:7. Hear this. For God did not give us a spirit of cowardice, but rather a spirit of power and love and of self-discipline. Thank you, Mother, Father God. we want to invite you all to say hello on Facebook at the bottom when you're interacting with us. We want to see, and you can see each other on there also. I'm going to do our affirmation. Affirming that Spirit is our source. The purpose of Harmony Spiritual Center is to be joyously inclusive, spiritually enlightening, and life transforming. The principles of Harmony Spiritual Center are inclusiveness, integrity, humility, compassion, transparency, and generosity.
You to join us in our meditation time. To just take a deep and relaxing breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, deep into your belly. As we breathe, we relax our bodies. We relax our mind, and we connect to the divine. Again, we breathe deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as we do, we relax and we become attuned to the divine. We listen quietly to what our voice inside and our bodies are telling us. What does your mind want from you? What does your body want? Listen. Listen. Focus on your breathing. Listen to what your body has to say. Fully experience the breath. As you breathe in and out, allow your attention to fully and gently move into compassion and love that exists within the heart of us all. focus on this love and this compassion. Breathe it in deeply, for you are truly loved, truly, deeply loved. For you are truly, deeply worthy of love. Allow yourself to fully feel the love of God within you, for you, for all your brothers and sisters and fellow travelers. Rest now in that love. Deeply and fully rest in the love of God. Rest in this quiet place in your body and your mind. Fully be receptive. Receive the love that is here for you. Be easy with yourself. Be easy with others. Breathing softly in and softly out. It is the breath that brings us to this knowing place that allows us to hear the knowing, the divine, the oneness. Let this love embrace you. Be embraced. Let the love embody you. Feel it now. It is you as you. Always. Always. And as we breathe in and we breathe out, gently and slowly begin to notice your body more alert now. Maybe you can feel your body as it reclines or sits softly in a chair. Feel your body and your mind awaken to the truth. Continue to notice the love and the gentleness by which you are loved. The wisdom of this meditation, the wisdom of this meditation process will feed you now and through the week to come. Gradually and fully now, with a deep breath in and out. Come fully present back into this space, back into the space where you are now. Become more alert, become fully awake, feeling relaxed and refreshed, wiser, consciously noticing and aware of your increased awareness and attention to the fact that you are one with God. And so it is. And so we let it be. Amen. All right. So we're going to go ahead and I think get into a special music. I think this is a song that was written by Janice Stanfield, and one that's come to our center many, many times. And I think it is so appropriate for today. I'm doing the version that was done by Michael Gott on his beautiful, beautiful new CD called Amazing Things. Amazing you'll do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. All the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when, where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay here in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You'll do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You'll do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You do amazing things. Good morning, beloveds. I am so very glad to see you all. I've seen your names as they popped up on Facebook. I can't see it now because I'm at the podium, but I did see you earlier, and so thank you all so much for being here. We are on a journey, a new journey, and that is why I thought Amazing Things would be a perfect song, because even in the midst of what seems to be going on and the appearances of things that we know do not align with the truth that all is well, amazing things will be happening in the middle of that. And we are going to be called to step into something greater, something we've never done before. But I know that you and I together will create something magnificent. And the last couple of weeks, I have been able to talk with several different people. You guys know that I'm involved in a leadership class back in New York, and we're having to, of course, transition as to how we get together. There are all sorts of people that are looking at how do we do this now. One of the things that I heard on a talk, a chat that I was in yesterday, was a woman from One Spirit, which is a wonderful seminary in New York. One Spirit said she didn't care for that word, the word that's coming into play right now, which is called social distancing. Because she said at this time, and I agree with her, at this time, we don't need to be socially distant. We might need to be physically distant while still being socially connected. And that's what we're doing here this morning on Facebook, staying socially connected to one another, because that's what we do. And so the talk this morning, if you're following along on the slides, the talk this morning is, we are at cause. And we've talked a lot. This is what you guys probably get so sick and tired of hearing me say the same thing, because there's only a couple of things that you need to know. One is the spiritual practices that we certainly did this morning, prayer and meditation. It's powerful. And as we know that we are one, we are the physical manifestation of God here on this place. Where you stand, you are the physical manifestation of God. We know this. And so as we pray and meditate, what we are really doing is raising our awareness and listening to that voice within about what it is for us to do now. We know that our words are causal. We know that cause and effect is a law that is in place and is always in place. And so when I say that we are at cause, that means that we get to decide what the future is going to look like by the things we do today. And let me assure you that we are fully prepared to handle what comes up now and next because of what we have done in the past. Fully brings us to today, prepared to deal with whatever it is and stand in the truth. And what we do today is going to prepare us for what comes. As the song Amazing said, you don't need to worry about that right now. You don't need to know when, where, or how. What we need to do is claim our good, stand in the truth despite appearances. That is what we are called to do. So we stand firm in what it means to speak the truth. And the truth right now begins with us speaking the truth, and then how do we walk in that truth? Because again, as I've talked with you guys many times, it isn't just about speaking. We have to claim it. But what we claim is what we focus on and what comes into our lives as we give energy and action to it. So in the coming weeks, or whatever length of time this may be, and I feel confident that however long this lasts, what we are creating now will not go away. Because this is a valuable thing that we are creating now. And it is not something that's temporary, that we only are going to use for a while. Whatever we are all creating is going to be with us on into the future, will be a part of our future. So the question becomes, what actions are we going to take? Are we willing to take? As we talk so much about examining our lives, it is critical that we know who we are and what we stand for, both as an individual and as a collective. As I've talked before about our practices and why it's so important that we practice meditation and prayer. Because when we come to a place like this, where there seems to be fear and the appearance of something that is not standing in truth, we know the practices to go to that will help us stand in our faith and hold to the truth. Because as we do that, the truth manifests and appears. And what is the truth? There is only God. Perfect. Perfection. All wholeness. Everything that we need and want and that is good in this world is what God is. And that is the truth. And we will continue to hold to that as we take actions to see it come into place. So, as we are being socially responsible by physically distancing ourselves, washing our hands, so many times, I actually had to get some gloves. My hands are starting to get a little bit raw. And I had to come up with a little ditty so that I could make sure I washed them a long time. And I came up with the, if you're happy and you know it, but I changed the words a little bit. If you're healthy, don't blow it. Wash your hands. All right? If you, if you do that a couple of times, that'll be plenty of time for you to have your hands clean and wear gloves and all of that. In addition, I was at the America's store, Walmart, and of course, lots of things are empty because, again, the appearance of fear and lack, which we know there's no such thing. There is no lack. There's plenty in the world. And so the shelves are showing what appearance but not actual truth. And I went to go get one of my favorite snacks that I get. And I usually get 2 of the bags each time, so I don't have to go to the store every week to get it. And there were only 2. So I just took 1 because that's all I could eat that week. And there was no need because I want to demonstrate truth, that there is plenty. And when I go back to get more, there will be more because there always is. So that's the question, isn't it, for all of us to think about. If we know the truth, and we do, what are the actions that we take to show that we know God is? And we do that. You probably can't see it now. I've kind of lowered the camera so you can't see our God is sign behind me. But God is, and then there's a ... And what does that mean? Put those in the comments if you have some thoughts about why do we put ... behind God is. There's a reason, and I'll come back to that in a minute. You probably know what it is. But we are at cause. That is a powerful thing to know and a powerful way of being. We are where God stands on this earth. We are the actions and the activities of God. So as we explore who we are and what our core values are individually and collectively as Harmony Spiritual Center and out in the world, what are the values we want to take out and show and be visible so that the truth actually manifests? I was coming over here. I'm actually at Harmony Spiritual Center in the building, and yesterday, and walked out of my apartment, and one of the young ladies who lives there was coming in, and she was loaded down with groceries. And she was talking about she was doing shopping for herself and for her elderly parents so that they wouldn't have to go out. And so, of course, these are the things that we do to help where we can, those we know who cannot help for themselves. I've gotten so many calls from all of you asking, how can we help? And I'm going to come back to that in a moment as well. But her comment, the young woman from my apartment, her comment, she had such a huge smile on her face. And her comment was that we live in a neighborhood that is generally very, very friendly. It's why I moved there. It's such a great neighborhood. But she said, above and beyond what we normally are, everyone is so wonderful right now, opening doors and making a way and just helping her. And I was at another Walmart. I had gone to try to get my computer fixed, which I was unable to do, but that's another story, because there is plenty. So where one computer is gone, another will show up, so no worries there. But I had gone to Walmart, and I was just going to check on my oil and put some coolant in the radiator, and I couldn't quite get the cap off the coolant. And a young man was pulling in with his truck, just pulled into the parking space next to me. And instead of just jumping out and going on into Walmart, he jumped out and came around and said, "Let me help you," and just took the bottle out of my hand, opened it up, and was about to pour it. And I said, "Oh, I can take it from here, but I really appreciate you helping me." This is what I'm seeing. Everywhere I end up having to be or go, everyone is so friendly and wonderful, over and beyond what I normally see. And I don't know if that's a part of us, the world, humanity, all being in a situation together and all of us rising to the occasion. I believe that's what it is. I believe that we as humans actually, when we're not messing around with our day-to-day little things that don't really matter, when the big things come up, love shows up. It always does. That's been my experience. Just another story, I love this. I went to the computer store to see if they could fix my computer. And the lovely young girl there who was waiting on me in the repair shop, she just looked at my computer and she said, "Oh, you have a vintage computer." And then she put her little hand out, she touched me, she goes, "And not in a good way." I love it, but she was so sweet, and she was saying, "Let me see what we can do to," she said, "because this will be worth something, later." So, but I mean, even in trying to give me bad news, she was so sweet. And that's what I'm saying. So back to what we can do. One of our members called me the other day, and she wasn't concerned. She just had something she wanted to talk with me about. And what it was is that she has a gift, something that she does. And she wanted to give it. And so she said that she would, she called up some people and offered her gift. And she never heard back from them. And so she wanted to know, should she call them back, just let it go? What should she do? So this is, again, part of what we were talking about on our phone call yesterday, when everyone is kind of looking, lots of loving people looking to say, how do we help now? What is mine to do? And those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. What is mine to do? What I shared with her is this. We are all on our own journey, right? We have gifts to share, but other people don't necessarily need to receive those gifts because that's not necessarily the journey that they're on. However, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't offer the gift. What we do is offer and do what we are here to do, and then let go of the outcome, right? The outcome is not our business. Our business is to do what Spirit is leading and guiding us to do, letting go of how it will be received, what the outcome will be, how it will end up, whether people will agree or appreciate it. That's not the point. The point is to do what you are here to do. So that's what I want to leave you with. We are at cause. We have power beyond imagination. Let me read a couple of things from The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes, and from the Bible on our words. So the Bible has this to say. I'm going to read two passages. This is from Proverbs 15, and my God, can you see how small these words are? What is happening? So I'm going to have to take my glasses off so I can see these things. Oh, no, I can see. Okay, here we go. So 15 and 4. Proverbs 15 and 4 says, "The tongue that heals is a tree of life, but a devious tongue breaks the spirit." So our words have power. That's what they mean by the tongue, the words you speak. That was Proverbs 15 and 4. And then Proverbs 18 and 21 says, "Life and death are in the power of the tongue." Life and death are in the power of the tongue. What we say matters not only to who you're saying it to, but also to yourself. What are you claiming? What are you telling yourself? Ernest Holmes has this to say. about cause. Did I even? Oh, there it is. All right. God is complete and perfect. A perfect cause. That is what God is, perfect source. A perfect cause must practice a perfect effect. If we're talking about perfect source, then what comes out is a perfect effect, right? A perfect manifestation. To daily meditate on the perfect life, the life of God, and to daily embody this great ideal of perfection, God's perfection, is a royal road to freedom, to that peace which passes understanding, and it is happiness to the soul of man. So we practice this, and I will leave you with this final words. Let us say these words daily, and I will repeat them. Perfect God within me. Perfect life within me, which is God. Come forth into expression through me as that which I am. One more time. Perfect God within me. Perfect life within me, which is God. Come forth into expression through me as that which I am. We are at cause. We are the I am. Whatever Spirit is calling forth for you to do right now in this time, in this place. And sometimes it is to stand and wait. If you don't hear clearly, that's okay, because the time has not come. But stand in your faith and wait for the voice of God within to tell you what is next for you to do. I love you. I am so glad, beloveds, that you are here with us today. Namaste. And so we're going to go ahead and play a little bit of music just a little bit before we're going to, or actually, no, we're going to have the offering prayer first. Okay, got to be reminded. This is just like when we're actually live. Someone's always got to tell you what's next, right? So, all right, so here we go. All right, so the offering prayer is divine love. You guys can say it with me together. I think you have it on the PowerPoints if you pulled it up. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. And now we're going to have some special music. David McMurray and Terry Smith. Thank you.
This song is by J.D. Martin
and Jan Garrett, and they were here a couple of years ago. We were blessed to have them perform this song for us, and we love it, and we're glad for everybody watching. So take care of yourself, imagine peace, and share your light and love with others when you have to go out 6 feet, and namaste. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and the green was easy and the rivers ran clear. I dreamed of summer and the winds I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and the way was easy and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and the way was easy and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. And the guiding stars are shining, and the night is bright and clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and the sound was easy and the song was real. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and the sound was easy and the song was real. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. And the ancient pain is forgotten, and the Father's debts are clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. And the flowers bloom in the desert, and the air is fresh and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came. Thank y'all. Thank you, Fort Worth.
All right, just give them a thumbs up, a clap, a like on Facebook. That was Terry Smith and David Murray.
And Ken Dinkins.
And Ken Dinkins on the piano. Thank you so much, Ken Dinkins. And so let's just, I want to say thank you so much. Let's give a little prayer for our offerings. Thank you so much. Thank you, God, for these thy gifts. We are blessed in the giving and blessed in the receiving. And so it is, and so we let it be. If you don't know how to give, you can go on harmonyspiritualcenter.org or .com and click the giving button. You can also text to give to 84321. That's 84321, and instructions will pop up as to how to donate. You can also actually send a check here, and to keep us going, because even though we're not physically here, obviously we are still here having service. And so we thank you so much for your continued support. All right, so we are coming to the end. Now, generally what we're going to do is we're going to have a meet and greet on Facebook chat. We haven't figured out how to do that yet, So when we do figure that out, which we'll probably have it done by next week, we'll ask you to just go into the Facebook chat and meet and greet one another for a few minutes while Ken plays some music. And when the music is done, come back to the main space and we will finish out. So we are going to close now with a closing prayer and a closing song. Before we do that, is there any announcements, anything you guys?
If you have any questions, because you are already on Facebook and you want to know how to give, or I will send a link if you just put it on this Facebook Live, and you'll be able to link to our donate page.
Right, thank you. Also, don't forget, we are doing Facebook Live on Tuesday at noon on the Harmony Spiritual Center's Facebook page. We call it Love and Lunch. It's just a check-in so that we can stay checked in with one another. Your board is meeting this afternoon to talk about some different ways in which we can stay connected with you. We love you so much. We're always thinking about you. And so if there's nothing else, Ken, you're good? We'll just have our closing prayer, and then we will close with our congregational song, Spirit is in this place, wherever you are. So our closing prayer, we're just going to do the prayer for protection. With me, if you will. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The presence of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. And so it is. Sing along with us at your house. Just have a little dance party. Woo! Yes. We all know this one. Wonderful week. Check in with one another. We'll see you soon. Namaste.